We'll set aside an hour of our day to answer questions, be available, and support you guys in any way that we can. If you have a ton of background noise, kids, airplanes, if you're in traffic, whatever, we ask that you mute yourself because we will leave the lines open for questions and answer. And so it is recorded. So we will post this in the link page, which I need to do on the other one. We will get it posted up and people will have access to it. So if you have something that you really don't want to be publicly presented, then shoot a private message. And that's it. So fire away. Who's got questions? Carrie has answers.
I'm making sure this is actually muting me. Can you hear me right now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right then.
Oh, we could. No, we can't. Hold on. All right, let's try again. Oh, keep beating yourself.
Why does it keep turning back on? Are you serious, Tom?
Oh, you want it muted?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. I'm sorry. I thought you were asking a question.
He kept unmuting you.
I was unmuting you because you said, "Can you hear me?" I was like, "No, I can't. Let's talk."
You hear me because.
All right. So who's got a question for us? Fire away. We're happy to answer anything you have. If there are no questions, we'll start asking you questions. That's a fun way to play also.
We could play Jeopardy.
We could. Okay, so I'm going to reach out to Ashley Preedy, who was at an event that we did Wednesday night with James and Roxanne Bybee to kick us off. And how about, Ashley, you share with us your biggest takeaway from that evening?
I think my biggest takeaway was just when Roxanne said, "What's the difference between you and me, where you're at and where I'm at?" And it's just time. It's just persistence and commitment. Her word. And, that was really cool. I had the opportunity to teach the Natural Solutions class at the Super Saturday event 3 months ago. And so it was really cool to have taught like right there and then see Roxanne and James teach right there and think, man, I taught when I was premier. I'm going to teach when I'm presidential. And it's going to be awesome.
That's great. That's a great takeaway. So Ashley was breaking up just a little bit on our end, but I think I got the gist of what she said. And that we did an event on Wednesday night with James and Roxanne Bybee, who, as you guys all probably know, are our presidential upline, our presidential diamond upline. And it was held at the same room that we do our Super Saturday event every couple of months. And Ashley was gracious enough to get up and teach the Natural Solutions class at the front of that room. And on Wednesday night, James and Roxanne were teaching in that same space, right? And Roxanne said, the only difference between you and me is I've just been doing this longer. I've stayed the course, and I've just been involved long. That's it. I'm not any smarter. I'm not any better. I'm not any different. I've just got time under my belt that you don't have. And that's pretty cool to think about it that way, because we've done a lot of events in that room, and I shared with Carrie later that evening, we had done a little bit of a Q&A, and it was interesting sharing the stage with James and Roxanne and answering questions and being able to collaborate and having them validate what we were saying and supporting that. Like, it's just an awesome thing when people who are, and they're actually double diamond, so they've gone presidential and then diamond again, which is pretty cool. when you think about it, right? So yeah, great takeaway. Maria, I see you're on. I don't know if I see your roof there. You were at the event that they did last night that we weren't able to make it to, despite our best efforts. Would you mind sharing your takeaway? And then we'll see if that sparks any conversation with anyone else.
Yeah. Sorry, there is some background noise here because they are outside cutting the grass. So if it gets too loud, let me know.
Can't even hear it.
Okay, not right now, but
Okay.
yeah, my takeaway was very similar to Ashley's. Just kind of putting into perspective, the Bibies have been doing this for 7.5 years. Is that right? And when they first got going, like they didn't even have books or resources, the trainings and tools that we have now, which is, reminds me like how blessed we are to have all of that. And that we have leaders that have gone before us and have, I mean, that's the whole share success system, is that we have people who've done this before and can lead the way for us and telling us this is how success is crafted. Like you follow this and you may not see it right away, but you will have success with this. So just knowing that they've gone before us and with a lot less tools and resources than we have now. But yeah, gosh, kind of same thing that Ashley said, like they're just further along in the journey. I think another big takeaway is, so there's lots of things. I think the lawnmower is coming back. Sorry, 1 second. Let me
No problem.
just close the door and I will.
Yeah. So to the part about them having started this 7.5, 8 years ago when there were no tools, James, and I don't know if he said this in your guys' event last night, but he shared at our event, people tell me that, oh, if I'd have just gotten in when you did, I would just be making so much money and my team would be so much bigger. And he responds and he says, no, if you'd have gotten in when we did, you'd have quit. And I was like, wow, that's pretty direct. And he said, because when we got in, we didn't have tools and we were faxing in our enrollment forms and there was no like day 31, scrambling to hit rank. It was like you hit it on the 25th or you didn't hit. And so if we think it's hard now and we're struggling now, his perception was you wouldn't have made it back then. So I thought that was pretty powerful in terms of like they didn't have share success. We didn't have a back office. There was, I remember watching Carrie fax stuff in and filling stuff out and doing all of that kind of thing. And I can't imagine, Diamond Club and some of the things that we do now where we put in, 20 enrollments a month, having to fax all that stuff and kind of flying blind. So yeah, it was an interesting perspective that he brought to that. But you had another share that you wanted to something else to point out.
Yeah, I think something that has been kind of coming to the surface for me and then lately, but then also kind of just reaffirmed it last night when James was speaking. For me, like why I was first drawn to doTERRA, and it is a big part of my why, is something I find myself actually that I'm not talking about as often and trying to identify like why that is. But one of the reasons why I was first drawn to doTERRA is their transparency, their ethics, their very like human and social responsibility around the world, and that they're out for quality over profits, that they're out for changing lives over just meeting the bottom line or like opting out of investors and those kind of things. Like, so really like everything that has to do with impact, our co-impact sourcing, our Healing Hands Foundation, I find myself like that's what I was drawn to before I even had an oil experience. I met Lindsay at church and we sat next to each other. And so there was actually an event going on, but we were like talking on the side. And so she didn't whip out her oils and give me an oil experience. We were just talking about the company, the leadership, the values, the ethics that they have. And I was absolutely blown away. And I was like, that's something I want to be a part of. And I'm, wow, like moved to emotion right now, because then I realized like, that's why I love doTERRA, and why do I not talk about that? And finding myself like, I absolutely love our company. I love our products. I love what I get to do. But why do I get so like ashamed? And I think like just kind of reminding myself of, I mean, I've read like the Starfish book, you know, like when we act out of authenticity and we show up to love and to serve people, like people see that, and we don't have to worry about the sales piece of it. And I just think like, so I'm just like searching myself, like why, if this is true, and I'm like moved to tears right now, like what holds me back from sharing? Why do I feel ashamed about talking about doTERRA when it's an absolutely amazing company that are changing people's lives, not only as consumers, but around the world? And so, yeah, I think something just triggered in me about like tapping into, like, I knew this was part of my why, but I think tapping into a deeper place and kind of figuring out like what are the mental or emotional barriers of why I don't fully share that.
Sure.
So yeah, it was an amazing night. I mean, I've heard their story before and I've heard his jokes before, and it's, you know, it's something about being there in person and hearing it again, and just, again, tapping into our why, and also like understanding this. I think you guys had posted it already on the Facebook page, but this piece of commitment, and are you handling, you know, doTERRA as a hobby or as a business? And yeah, I think there's lots more I could say on that, but I'll keep it at that for now.
Sure. Well, thank you for sharing and working through the emotion of it. You know, we have some things in the works sort of based on some of those conversations that were had around, you know, sharing your story and reconnecting with that. I don't know if they had time to do a Q&A on your guys' end, but they did a bit of a Q&A with us, and someone talked about having a hard time connecting with what do they do and how to share what they do with others. And it was fun to watch James work through that with her from a coaching and mentor standpoint. So yeah, it's inspired us to put together some things that I think you guys will like in the coming weeks to kind of help you reconnect perhaps with your why and reconnect with what you're doing. So awesome. Great shares. I appreciate you guys being open and vulnerable to that. Does that lead anyone into or inspire anyone to ask any sort of questions about your business, about your journey, about how to overcome certain areas, or any of those things? Or it can be questions about Diamond Club, which has started for the fall, what it means to do Diamond Club if you're interested in that for the spring. I don't know what else. Questions about convention, questions about Cancun. We have no questions at all.
Sure, I have a question about Cancun. So that's the incentive trip.
Correct.
So what if we didn't hit the exact point mark where they pay for your way? Do any of your points count and then you can make up the difference, or no?
Yeah, they do. You'll get an email once the qualification period is over saying how many points you achieved and what your options are. The first year they sent it to us, I had one ticket paid for, and we had to pay the other ticket. It was like $1,800, so we couldn't do it at that time. So we chose not to, but you'll get an email once it's the qualification period's done telling you the details.
Yeah, it ended July 31st, so it's probably the next 2 weeks or so.
Yeah.
It could even be 3 weeks out. But yeah, they'll tell you, hey, you got this close, and here's the balance, or kind of what your situation is. It's kind of shifted year to year. So, yeah, if it's at all within the realm of possibility to make it on that trip, make it.
Sure. Okay.
It's worth it to be there. We've been involved in doTERRA for 5 years on the business end, enrolled for 6, and we've only been on one incentive trip, and I don't have a lot of regrets in my life. And I look back at not going to Tulum and Haiti and some of the other places, and after going to the Dominican Republic and just getting to spend 72 hours with the Goddards, the Bibees, the Hobson, like all the, and just all like the Fennells and just other people that we met that aren't of, an executive leadership space, just getting to be around them and masterminding was awesome. So if you get an opportunity to go and you can make that work, please do. It's in January. It's usually about the second week of January. You can pay, if you didn't qualify, you pay for the incentive trip. It's all inclusive this year. It is at Moon's Landing. I don't remember. It's in Cancun. It's on the coast, and you just got to get there. It's well worth it. And there's a whole humanitarian piece to that, where there's at least 2 days of doing humanitarian efforts with either Days for Girls or one of the harvesters, and they went to the Dominican. They did some stuff with the wild orange growers. They did Days for Girls. They did put together backpacks and bicycles for one of the orphanages. So it's just awesome to get to, be doing that stuff with, Dave Sterling and Emily Wright and all those guys. It's really the only time that the executive leadership is available that isn't during an event, right? Like they're there just to hang out and connect with people who are there. So, yeah, great stuff. Who else has a question? I see Roland joined us. He usually has something to ask. Welcome.
Not yet.
All right, perfect. Anyone else have a question of any kind?
I always have more questions, but I'll let someone else hop in.
If you don't ask, we'll ask.
Well, since you brought up Diamond Club, so I know that started for the fall Diamond Club, but for spring, if you're gonna qualify for that, you have to hit silver by January 31st. Is that right?
By December 31st.
December, okay.
Yeah, December is the qualifying month. So unless they change the rules, which they have been known to do between Diamond Clubs, currently qualification month, it would be December for the spring event. You have to get 3 personal enrollments that month. You have to hit silver that month. And you need to, I think that's it, right?
No, you need
3 enrollments.
5 LRPs.
Oh, yeah, you need 5 LRPs in your local area. So local area is considered within 75 miles. So if you're in Golden, Denver, Boulder, Fort Collins, as long as they're within 75 miles, they'll count as your local area. And then you need, 5 LRPs outside in and out of area. So
Like in one
area. Out of area. Right.
It can't be like all spread out. It has to be within one area.
It used to be your 5 LRPs just had to be outside your area. So you could have like one in Austin, one in LA, one in Vegas, one in whatever. So like for you guys, Wisconsin being your most concentrated sort of second area, you need to have 5 LRPs run in December. So if you're looking to qualify for Diamond Club, let's say like you guys have that all set up great, but like Ashley, who's got some other builders or other customers in Kansas, you want to, maybe they're not on LRP, maybe you've got 3 that are and 2 that aren't. Between now and December, you want to get those 2 other people enrolled and get them to at least run an LRP in December so that you get your 5 so that you qualify. So yeah, we talk about Diamond Club a lot, and we talk about it in terms of you want to prepare for it. So if you're thinking of doing Diamond Club in the spring, October, November is really the time to be looking at the qualifications, to be making sure that you're ready so that you can have everything good to go in December. We at one point had one of the Diamond Clubs that we did, because we did it both times in the spring. We had enrollments coming in November, towards the end of November, and we incentivized those enrollments to enroll December 1st instead. Like we gave them a free oil to hold off for a week because we needed enrollments in December, and we didn't want to kind of drain our pipeline. So it's smart to be thinking about Diamond Club and what that looks like now, and if you're interested. And then participating in Diamond Club, it's 3 local events, a one-on-one, a class, anything qualifies as a local event. And then it's 3 out-of-area events. And you get reimbursed up to $250 per travel. You can do them all in one weekend. Mary Cody is doing Diamond Club right now, and she went to Bakersfield and then to Vegas, and then she's going to Idaho, and then coming back to Vegas, and then going back to Reno. So Bakersfield's 1 trip, Vegas is 2, Idaho's 3, Vegas is 4, and then home. So she's able to get all of her out-of-area trips done in one weekend, essentially in about an 8-day period. And then she's got the rest of the month to focus on her local stuff. So Carrie and I have done it 3 times, twice in Diamond Club, once in Presidential Club. We can definitely help any of you with the strategy and how to maximize your travel, your dollars, your events. So if you're thinking about it, think about it now, and we definitely recommend you do it. Every time we did Diamond Club, we rank advanced, except this time. So it's worth it.
So to clarify, do you have to hit silver by December 31st or hit silver in December?
I would need to reach out to Diamond Club and ask. If you hit silver in November and didn't hit silver in December, I think you would be okay. But I'm not 100% sure. You need to be silver to do Diamond Club. And so your permanent rank is whatever you hit. So for that reason, I think you would be okay, but I would need to verify that. Carrie says you have to qualify that month at that rank. So you would have to hit silver in December. So
is that different from how it used to be? Like I thought last year when we first joined doTERRA, there was someone that came to one of our first classes who was in DC, and I'm pretty sure she was Premier. Has that changed?
Yeah, it was Premier. When we qualified for Diamond Club the first 2 times, we were gold and platinum, but you only had to be Premier to qualify. And then the following Diamond Club, they bumped it up to silver. And so when Tiffany and Daniel, Annabelle, and Lindsay all did it, you had to be silver. The reason behind that thinking is that, at Premier, you have 2 executive legs. Mm-hmm. You're just starting to make a little bit of money. And silvers have 3 legs. They have a larger team. And silver is when you start to get into the leadership ranks. So we have quite a few Premiers that have not ever and may not ever hit silver because you're not quite there. But like that silver is just a little bit more of a commitment level. And so they felt like there was a better chance of you being successful if you waited a little bit longer. When we did it, around 500 people or so would qualify, and around 200 would finish, because you have to meet requirements each month to stay in. Now that they've moved it up to silver, it's more like 300 people qualify and 200 finish. So there's a lot less drop off. So it looks like the choice to make it silver was a good choice. It created some headaches for us because we had a bunch of premieres that were ready to do Diamond Club. And then they went, oh no, you have to be silver. So there were some tricks. We had to hustle to get some people qualified. Any other questions? No. Everyone's good.
How many shares have they given out this week?
How many shares have you given out this week? Carrie would like to know. How many people have you shared with this week? No one wants to answer. So we've shared with what? I've shared with 3. How many of you had those people on the plane on the way home?
Yeah, that was 2 families.
So 5. So who else wants to share? Ashley, how many people have you shared with?
3.
3.
4, but told me no. Bizarre.
4. Roland, how about you and Brittany? Roland.
Brittany did one in the grocery store yesterday, and I did one earlier this week.
Awesome.
How many we got?
So we've got 4 from Ashley, 2 from Roland. Maria hasn't answered yet.
I have I'll have to check my list over there, but stepped up my game this week, so 15 to 20.
Nice.
That's
Yeah. And
Are
then
those
Intel grad
person to person, or is that Facebook?
Both. I sent out a bunch of samples in the mail, and then we've been pretty intentional about reaching out to some people that we're meeting in our local area.
Perfect.
Including this morning we're trying to sell our other truck, and so Intel shared oils with a woman checking out the truck. So
Nice.
yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, now next question is, how many people have you followed up with?
I followed one because I shared with last night. So that takes me back.
How about you, Maria?
Well, the samples that just got out in the mail, that'll take a while for them to get them, but so I haven't followed up with them yet. But as for the in-person people, I don't know the exact number, but yeah, following up with them, and then again, just shared yesterday and today, so we'll follow up with those 2 as well.
Did you follow up with your people?
I did. Yes, I did. Okay, next question.
No, they,
I didn't give anyone else a chance.
Yeah, anybody else who followed up? Roland, are you
Hear us? Can you hear us?
Oh yeah. Hey. how
now
are
we
you?
can. We're good.
Good?
Yep.
go ahead.
Okay. Ellen has a question or a comment.
Fire
So-
away, man.
You asked how many people had face-on-face given out samples in a week. Last Friday, I gave out samples. Day before, 3, and yesterday, 2, and have followed up, except the 2 I gave out yesterday because I wait till 24 hours later, and I've gotten 2 retail customers out of that.
Awesome.
That's great. When you're following up with them, what class are you inviting them to?
So far, nobody's willing to come to class, so I've been doing one-on-ones.
Okay.
Do you have any classes on the schedule yet?
For me, no.
Yeah.
Because the last 5 classes I've given, the only people who came were Roland and Brittany or Amber. So I'm doing one-on-ones.
That seems to be working for you right now.
Yeah.
Good, good. When people are buying retail from you, Ellen, are they buying just 1 bottle at a time, or 2 or 5, or how many retail bottles are they normally buying from you?
Some are buying 1, some are buying 3. One bought 5, and I couldn't get her to understand she'd save money if she would join the company. She goes, no, I'm not ready yet. So Annabelle keeps telling me I got to meet them where they are, and then they'll come along. So I'm meeting them where they are, and I have a lot of retail customers. Like I've got 18 or 19 right now.
Okay, so let's try to work on converting those into enrollments for you, okay, from moving forward. Because the best way for you to gain residual income and to build your organization is to get those enrollments and hopefully get them onto LRP. So let's do a little play-by-play if you don't mind playing with me for a minute. When let's say I'm a new one-on-one that you just met with, and I'm going to get 3 bottles of retail oils. What would you say to me when we're starting to close? I'm thinking about lemon, lavender, and peppermint. So what would you say?
I would say you are making wise choices in these oils, and by this time we have already talked about how these oils work for them, and they have sampled them, and they usually have body tested them. And then I talk about the benefits of joining so that you can not only receive a discount but build up product points so that eventually you can buy oils free.
Okay, so is that the same wording that you would use truly with another one-on-one?
Yes, that's what we talk about.
Okay, so a lot of times what words we use can have a empowering in effect on somebody or disempowering. You want to let them know of the how to get oils at a greater price, right? But the words that you just used with me doesn't intrigue me really to go for a wholesale membership with my 3 bottles of retail, okay? So if you want to take note of some different wording that you can use, some powerful things that you can share with them would say something like, when I've done the math before with other clients of mine, normally when somebody purchases 3 or more bottles of retail oil, the retail price, if I incorporate the wholesale membership for you, you're normally going to save $1 to $2 and have that wholesale membership already in place. So the next time that you want to order oils, you already get a discounted price. Does that make sense? So I know for me, if it's only going to cost me $1 or $2 less or $1 or $2 more, I would rather have that benefit now than a month or 2, right? Like I just had a dentist appointment last week, unexpected dental work that needed to be done. And they said, and we're cash patients. And they said, we have a family discount plan that you can pay for. And it cost me either $300 for my dental work or $150 if I bought this family plan. So I'm going to buy the family plan, right? Because I'm going to save that money. So you have to align it or word it in such a way that, well, why not get the discount now versus waiting, right? That can be just, you being confident with changing your wording. And, does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. And I can tell you from experience after numerous classes, I will, do the pricing of retail versus wholesale. If I add the wholesale membership in, and normally it's within $1 to $2, either, minus or in addition to. And majority of the time I have people that say let's do the wholesale membership,
Okay.
You can bring up the fact that people will buy retail and they fall in love with them and they kick themselves in the butt because, a month or 2 from now, they want more oils and they still got to pay the wholesale membership, So.
Yeah. Okay.
So try that little trick and see if you can't convert from here on out those one-on-ones, right? Retail is great. However, it doesn't build that residual income that you're looking for, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. So
and it's lots more work for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Any other questions? Any other shares.
Actually, I have a question.
Yes.
We're all sitting together. We have a booth coming up, and I can talk to people at the booth, but not like, talk to them the week after, and they're like, they're just not there. It's like I'm not talking to the same person. They're just so distant. It's weird. I know I'm not the best personable person via text or calling, but how can I suck less?
How can I suck less? Well, what's the opposite of sucking?
Being good.
Okay, so
like successfully getting connections with people after only talking to them for 5 minutes at a booth.
Right. Okay, so let's talk about follow-up from leads at an event. How do you go about following up with them?
Usually I'll find something to commit to, like, I'll be like, okay, you want Deep Blue? Let me text you this YouTube video about it and watch it and we can discuss it. So that like we have an expectation of what I'm sending you, when, etc. And I'll do that. And then I'm like, what did you think? How was the sample working? And they're like, fine. Say something.
So our job is to ask questions. So after they say fine, what would another question be that you could ask them?
I honestly don't know.
Where do you want to go with that person that you shared Deep Blue with?
If they're ready for oils, I want them to go with it. Like if it's not working, tell me and we'll try something else. If it is working, great. If you like more, do you want to learn more?
Okay, so can you say that in the next text to respond to them?
I can have to make that less scattered, but
yeah. Are you using the Share Success Pro app?
My phone won't download anything else. In fact, it's just done with life. So
okay,
I'll have to probably get the phone this weekend or something.
That's fine. I just wanted to know how you were sending the Deep Blue videos. So if you,
or YouTube link.
Yeah, that's cool. So if you're following up with somebody and they say fine, do you have a class on the schedule to invite them to?
Usually, not right this second I don't, but I'll fix that before the booth.
Okay, so make sure that you always have, a date on the calendar where there's a class to invite them to. Because without a class, there's nothing really there that you can invite them to after. Like, hey, yeah, I like the Deep Blue, awesome. And then you respond, awesome, great.
Yeah.
Right? Or you want to come to a one-on-one? Well, I don't know. I just met you. That's kind of weird. No, ma'am. So ask questions. Think of it as in a give and take relationship. You want to ask a question so they respond. Ask another question so they respond. Ask another question so they respond. Same thing with if you've got a builder or a leader that surfaces, you want to do the same thing, right? So asking questions is the best way to get more information out of them. And remember to have that class already on the schedule. So you have some more to go with that person, right? Let's say, where are we in August? Okay, I did an event. Yeah, I did an event last weekend. This is the second time I followed up with somebody. They liked the Deep Blue I gave them. Wonderful. We're having a class this Saturday at 12 p.m. Does that pique your interest? Would you be available to attend? Okay. Yes or no? If it's a no, oh, I'm sorry, that doesn't work out for your schedule. I have one more class the next week, Wednesday at 7, that I'd love for you to attend. And if that doesn't work, are you open to meeting one-on-one at a coffee shop or whatever, park, McDonald's, somewhere public, right, in the middle, because you don't know these people.
Oh, I do one-on-ones in public anyway.
Yeah.
Like you don't come to my house.
Yeah. Then you've got direction somewhere to go with them, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And then I also suggest, just as Share Success says, is following up with that one person in 3 different ways of communication, right? So if I've sent a text message and they haven't responded in 24, 48 hours, The next 24, 48 hours, I'm going to give them a phone call. Hey, Amber, it was great meeting you at the Health Expo. Just wanting to make sure that you use the deep blue and see how you liked it. Give me a call back. I'd love to chat more. That's it. No response from that. 24 to 48 hours later.
Because you get a free kids meal.
Awesome. I want a free kids meal, Annabelle.
Oh, sorry.
You bring it up for the whole class. I want kids meals.
Do I get a toy? I want a toy.
I didn't know that I wasn't muted. Yeah, it's
Is
for
it
a
a Pokemon
restaurant.
toy?
Yeah, we got a little coupon for a restaurant for Chase. Okay, I'll mute myself now.
So, 24, 48 hours, send that email. Hey, Amber, I sent you a text and I left you a voicemail. I'm not sure if I have the right number or not. I just want to confirm that I do, one, and two, that you liked, same thing, that you liked the deep blue oil that I gave you. And I wanted to find out if it benefited your body in any way and let you know of our upcoming class. Right? And the cycle continues until they respond in one way, that you get their form of communication. Everybody prefers to communicate one of those three ways.
Okay.
So then you would continue to communicate with that person that way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does that help?
Yes. Just need to ask more questions when I get
Questions. Yes.
Okay. Going off of that, what video can I find for the hand aroma touch technique so we can offer that at the booth? Because we're trying to get people to come to us and offer them incentives and stuff to learn more about the oils and have a great experience.
I don't know that there's a video, I've only seen a flyer handout.
Okay, because I see it's like paper, just kind of that's not even full. I don't know if it's a full hand technique because it goes really fast. So
It's a very simple, short technique.
okay.
Heath is checking out right now to see if he can't find it.
There's aromatouch.com.
Yeah, I don't think it has the hand technique there, though. Do you want it for the booth or just for yourselves to learn?
Both.
Okay.
And so I was also thinking, you guys are on this call and we're together as a team right now. For the booth, I have an app. So I was thinking of maybe inserting, I don't know if I should take this on, where I insert all the contact information into the app and then send the script to Amber and Ellen, or do we just split up the names, whoever we spoke to? What do you think is best?
So at booths, it's important that the new prospect, goes to the person that connected them with at the booth. So if Amber connected with Joe and, heard that Joe had a backache and heard about all his drama from his backache, then it's important that Amber do the follow-up with that.
Okay.
Keith, where did our Zoom go?
You can see it.
I know, but I don't.
You need to see them?
I prefer that.
Sure.
Hold on.
You're still there.
So it would be odd if, let's say, Amber and I connected, or let's say even for you, Brittany, because you asked the question. Let's say I connected with you at the booth and shared a peppermint oil because you told me about whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, Ellen calls you and says, hey, Brittany, it was great to meet you. Just following up to see how that peppermint oil went, how it worked for you. Would that be odd to you?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So if you have a sign-in sheet that they're signing in on, or an entry form or something, and you've connected with that person, I just take a moment and flip the page over and write, Carrie with Joe, peppermint. So I remember, right, I connected with Joe. He's my person. I'm going to continue on the peppermint journey with him.
Okay.
So just to have that memory of who's connecting with who. How many people do they anticipate at the booth or the expo?
Off of the Facebook event, there's at least 200 people that said yes, and then I didn't see how many babies. So not a lot. This is our third time doing this booth. Not in the past, very slow traffic, but they're doing it in the evening this time with some more entertainment and more advertisements. So I'm expecting a bigger crowd.
Okay. Yeah, and there's going to be 3 of you there?
Mm-hmm.
Good idea. Great. Yeah, just take a moment, after each one of you shares and, you've gotten that person's information, jot your initials next to it so you know whose person it is. And if you shared a sample with them, I also write that, real quick so I know how to follow up with them.
Okay.
Makes sense?
Maybe 3 different sign-up sheets with our names on top, probably. Or you want to?
No, I can figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll photocopy it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Did she eat?
Oh, she didn't
What's it called? Food. Happy Meals food.
Did she eat? No, we didn't have Happy Meals. Sorry.
Annabelle did.
Okay. Any other questions?
Okay. Are we going to mute us?
Not so many. No more questions. Okay, I have a question for each of you. So unmute yourself and just give me your number. How many people are currently in your pipeline that you are following up with? Let's say, what is today? August 5th. So from July, so almost 5 weeks back, how many people are currently in your pipeline that you're working to follow up with?
I probably have 37 people.
Okay, my screen isn't showing everybody. So
It's Randy.
Randy. Okay. Randy was 37.
Mm-hmm.
It's not showing everything.
I don't. My thing doesn't. The camera's not on. So
it's okay. I'd love to see your beautiful face. However. Okay, Randy went. Who else? Maria.
Are you talking about those that we've shared samples with or talked to about doTERRA? Anyone that we're following up with on in our pipeline?
Yeah, in your pipeline, you've shared oils with. You're following up since July with them.
Since July.
It's a pop-up quiz.
Yeah, I'd say at least 12, but definitely more than that.
12 plus. Okay, Ashley.
I don't know. I haven't tracked.
Okay. How are you tracking?
In my brain.
Okay. So this has been a little bit of a theme. So this is why, one of the reasons why I'm asking to bring it to your awareness of tracking how you're following up with people. So it's important to know when you followed up with them last, what way of communication was used last, and what was shared with them, right? And so if that's something that you haven't focused on yet, I would say find a way that does. When I'm out and about, I use the notes section in my phone to connect with people. When I'm home, I have my notebook and Post-its that I use, and each person I have a name for, and I'll jot a note down on a Post-it and stick it there. And then when I'm looking at following up for the week, if I'm following up on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I go through all of my people, look at my Post-its as to what date was the last day that I followed up with them, what form of communication, and kind of jot down a list of, okay, I'm going to follow up with these people Monday, these Wednesday, these Friday, and etc. Right? So, Ashley, it looks like that might be a tool that you want to start working on, right? Because as you grow, Keith and I have hundreds of people in our pipeline that we're working with. And because we continue to follow up with people, they know that we're their person when they're ready, right? And that's why we've had people enroll with us that we've shared oils from, 2 to 3 to 5 years with us. So I would say maybe as your homework this week, get some type of a system, what you think might work down, and then start being consistent with it.
Okay.
Cool. If you had to guess, you had to think of how many people you're following up with since July, what would that number be?
I don't think I have as many like new people since July, as I kind of get in this habit of hanging on to the people who say, oh, well, I'm going to, or maybe in a couple weeks, or maybe the next payday. And I get caught up in just hanging on to them and holding out hope rather than putting that energy elsewhere. So
Right. Annabelle's on the call right now, but she knows this has kind of been a theme too, is taking those blinders off of just those people and continue to share, right? Like think of the book, Go for No. Okay, great. She's not ready right now, but eventually she will be. But I got to find some more people because I got to keep my momentum going, right? So take those blinders off and continue to share and get more people in your pipeline, because they'll just start to rotate. You'll just start to rotate all of these people that you follow up with.
Yeah. Okay.
And I know that you were on vacation too in July, right? Didn't you go out of town?
For a few days, not any.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Hey, Ashley, what rank do you want to be?
Silver. This month?
No. What's your goal? Where do you stop? Where do you want to be? Sorry, she's got a lot of hair.
Double diamond. I'm going to be standing in that little suite room teaching.
Okay. So double diamond is 6 platinums to hit presidential, and then another 4 silvers. 6 platinums is
you can do it.
18 silvers. Silvers have 3 elites, so that's 18 times 3. That's 60 elites, right?
I'm trying to make 3 elites this month.
Right. But here's the deal, right? You need at least 60 elites plus another 4 silvers, which is another 12 elites. So you need 75 elites, right?
Holy crap.
So you don't stop sharing oils until you have 75 people that have 3,000 in volume, which means at roughly 150 PV a month on an LRP, 3,000. That means you need another 30 people. So that's 75 times 30. So until you have whatever that is, 210 people in your pipeline ready to enroll, you share. You share.
Noted.
So the question is, how many people do I have in my pipeline? My answer is not enough. I need another 200, right?
Yeah.
So that when Carrie's talking about the blinders, we've all been there. We've all done it. We all get like 3 people. I got these 3 people, and until they enroll or tell me no, I'm working on those 3.
Right.
Yes. You need another 300.
That makes me want to a little bit, but that's good, right?
So it's overwhelming. You're like, oh crap, there's not that many people in the world, but there is. And the opportunity to talk, like you were there when James was talking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody says, I have this, and you're stuck because you have a duty now to share that answer with them, right? So it doesn't matter how many people you have in your pipeline. You're going to talk to new people and keep searching and searching and searching. And it's a marathon, not a sprint. That number doesn't have to be overwhelming. We have 3,700 people on our team right now. 200 of them we've enrolled. The other 3,500, you guys enrolled.
Thank you.
Right? So while you need 300, that doesn't mean you need to go find every single one of them. You just need to keep sharing and finding them until those people go, okay, I got it from here, right? We shared until Lindsay said, okay, I got it. And then Lindsay shared with Maria. And Maria said, okay, I got this piece. I'm going to go share, right? And so it's exponentially from there. But I always remember, like, I want to be triple presidential. Well, that's 18 platinums. So that 18 platinums means I need 60 silvers. 60 silvers means I need 180 elites. I don't have 180 people in our pipeline. So we got to go get more.
Yeah.
Okay, he took over my spot. I was doing something with you guys, and he was taking over. He hijacked me. Okay, so Ashley, give me a number if you could guess how many people in your pipeline.
10.
10. Okay. Let's go to the Thibodeau room. Amber, Brittany, and Ellen.
Okay.
So shares since July, and how many people are you're following up in your pipeline since July, 1st of July?
My tracking system kind of decimated.
I'm glad I keyed in on that. Good.
Okay.
All right. Is there less echo? No?
If you have your phone also on, that may be where the echo's coming from.
All right.
That's better.
Okay. So honestly, my tracking system kind of fell apart the last couple months.
Okay.
And I just, see, look, it says track better. You can't see it. Haha, there. You can see, look, I wrote down take better notes. That's what I did. But I think about 10.
10. Ellen, where are you at?
I have that I have followed through with since July 1st, 45, because I counted them yesterday, going, oh, I'm missing some. No, I have lost 4 or 5 contacts. I got to find where I put those pages.
Great job. Brittany, you're in the background. Where are you at?
So actual shares last month was, that come to mind, and Roland has my phone, so I'm going to say for sure that I wrote down and everything, 6.
6 total. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Who else do we have on? Roland, where are you at? Or is Brittany the power share with you two?
How many, what do I have?
How many people in your pipeline are you following up with since beginning of July?
3 of my own, and I need to do more. I have about 5 more that I need to add.
So have you shared with those 5 people, or you need to share and then follow up?
I have shared. I need to follow up.
Okay. Annabelle, you're last. If you can get away from that kids meal, can you tell us how many people are in your pipeline?
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I just counted it, and I shared with 20 new people in July.
Awesome.
And I am still following up with 15 of them.
Okay.
So I don't know what's going on as far, either they're still expressing interest and I'm going along with that, or they have not gotten back to me at all.
Right.
And the other 5 said no.
Awesome.
So
clarity is power, right?
Yep.
Good.
Yep.
Okay, so in pipes, I don't have one in front of me at the moment, but it talks about the inviting, right? Sharing samples and inviting. So in order to get the flywheel of your business really cranking and going really hard and strong, you want to contact and share 2 oils or 2 new people a day. So if you are committed to sharing 5 days a week, you should have 10 new people to follow up with, right, for that 5 days. So for those of you that are fiercely committed and you want to really ramp up that flywheel, that's what's suggested is 2 new shares every day. And then you start to get a huge area where you start following up, right? And so this is why tracking is really important. And like Roxanne Bybee's quote was in her presentation night before last, If you treat your doTERRA business like a hobby, you'll get paid like a hobby. If you treat your doTERRA business like a business, you'll get paid like a business. And that rang really, really true to me. And so that's why I shared it on our Facebook page. So think about where you are with your shares, how aggressive you want to be, how aggressive you want to be committed to the goal. I know some people on here have the goal of silver by the end of October. And so if that's still your goal, ramp up those sharings, right? Get your tracking into a notebook or into the notes system of your phone or something to where you can say, oh, I followed up with Joe 2 weeks ago and that was my 4th share. I need to do a 5th and a 6th share, right? So thank you all for sharing where you are with your follow-up and your pipes. I just wanted to key in on that with you guys. I'm actually wanted to do a pop-up quiz for you, and I'm going to give a free peppermint oil to the top girl with most of the pipelines, and that's Ellen. Ellen had 45, so I'm going to mail that, probably drop it in the mail. Today's Friday. We don't have a vehicle right now. We're dealing with a tire issue. So I will get that into the mail to you on Friday of peppermint oil. And positive properties of peppermint oil, which I think fall in line with this, are buoyant, optimistic, clear, relieved, renewed, and strength in the face. Strength to face emotional pain. So I was just inclined to do that and wanted to throw it out there for you guys today. So thanks for joining us, and I'll get that oil sent out on Monday, and hope you guys have a great weekend. We're going to wrap it up. We're a little over an hour now, and if you need us, you know how to reach us. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.
I had a question because you said that was the 4th or 5th.